Welcome to your Twisted Tea Best Post-Race Show. We're cramming this together as best we can. Batteries and cameras and cards are dead. It is a long day. Jason Weigandt, Mitch Kendra. We got a fan back here. John, we have one fan that's left in these pits. Charlotte Airport, great airport. It has direct flights everywhere. I know, I see every weekend. Yeah, because everybody flew home already.
Yeah, light crowd tonight.
Yes. But look, if you talk about the race today, Mitch, if everyone was told you'd have Eli Tomac and Jett Lawrence battling to the
Chase Sexton right behind him.
Chase Sexton right behind him most of it. But honestly, the last lap, Eli was close.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what everyone would have signed up for. That's fine.
I think those are the two guys where it was like, all right, Chase Sexton was the champion this summer.
Yeah.
Where does Jett slot in?
Yeah.
Where does Eli slot in SMX? Because this was his first SMX event. And it was, like you said, it was everybody wanted to see those guys, and that's what we got, so it was awesome.
What did Eli say in the press conference? He seemed pumped on the podium, at least, even though he got second.
Yeah, so he said he was good. He didn't tell us what bike setup he was on, but obviously setup looked pretty good. He said he likes that Daytona style kind of track layout, so he said he just gelled right away. I think he was kind of feeling it in free practice yesterday, and just, he looks to be, I mean, at Ironman, we saw his speed was back. So, yeah, he just felt comfortable. He said he liked the hybrid style so far. So far, so good there, so he's excited to, I know his big picture is like the 25 Supercross season and full season, but he said it's good to like come in here and finish this strong. And I mean, he was fighting till the end. Yeah, he wasn't laying down. But he said the two big sections that cost him were the sand section and the big rhythm. And he said he just didn't adapt and it cost him.
Yeah, two things there. First of all, Jett Lawrence, when they've had sand sections of Supercross, like this one was, has been ridiculous. And furthermore, Tomac had the scoop tire. No one else did. And Jett was still crazy doubling in. And the rhythm that was better, Tomac was better in the rhythm than Jett, but he couldn't do it all the way to the end. He said the transition got too eaten up and he couldn't do it. And that was the difference. But look, if you want to build for 2025, Jett Lawrence is 66 days out of surgery and is already back to winning.
Yeah.
So good luck, everybody.
Well, and he said, I think on David Iser with their interview that day, like, he almost doesn't want to win because he wants to come in and have a challenge.
Yeah.
And he said even if he's not challenged, he's going to lose focus. So, I don't know, it was definitely interesting. Like, we have to look at it too. For Chase Sexton, obviously it's not his best day. He's still struggling with the setup, I guess, for the Supercross setup on the KTM, but he still leads with the points lead because he came in with so many qualifying points. So, there's just a lot going on, and it's going to be exciting for Texas next weekend.
We'll let you folks in the comments discuss Sexton's day. It was good on the podium. You probably have some opinions on that. We'll just go to the riders of the press conference and let them express how they felt about the day.
I enjoyed it. I mean, it's, you know, anytime you win one of the races, it's easy to say you like it. But I like the high speed. Like, coming back in the stadium kind of reminded me of the old Vegas, Sam Boyd. So I had a lot of fun with it. And it just had a little bit of everything, right? With the sand, and, you know, the one rhythm and some good speed. So it's good for me.
No, it was cool. I mean, I was kind of dealing with my own stuff. Obviously, the first one, trying to get back in my flow, and obviously lost that time at the first part. But that second one, yeah, it was fun. I mean, we're going hard, and yeah, I mean, that Yamaha is really loud. So, and our bike's obviously quite opposite. It's very quiet. So even once I got around, I still couldn't hear my bike. But no, it was, I think, yeah, obviously a big thing with the engine and the air intake, where it's on the compared to the Yamaha, it's a lot quieter than that. But no, it's cool to experience it, and I hope it stays around. Be Smoker, it's always fun racing someone with such knowledge and yeah, speed obviously too.
Yeah, I mean, you really had to run out our Supercross suspension today, just with how that rhythm section was and how tight and steep it was. So you couldn't really get away with an outdoor setup. But yeah, it's like I said, we have work to do with the SX setup and getting more comfortable. But yeah, most of the track was pretty outdoorsy. It was just that Supercross section and some of the fast parts where you were hitting some pretty big G outs. You had to have enough hold up. But yeah, I'll go back to the drawing board, try and work with the team, and come out stronger because I gotta get better.
Okay, 250 class. Look, Haiden Deegan's been very good this year. He's pro motocross champ, Mitch. He had, I think, he made up 10 seconds in 2 laps at High Point. He's had some great rides. I haven't seen anything quite like that. Like, that was just manhandling people. That was ridiculous.
And it was weird too, because when Jalek goes down at the beginning, that shuffles everything with a restart, but then Haiden had the open gate to his left, and he still got a bad start.
Yes,
and it was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, just great riding. He was feeling himself. Obviously, he's throwing those big whips mid-race. Like, I think he had a couple big ones over the double in the finish line stuff. He just, I mean, he's reigning Super Motocross champ. We expect him to be good, but like, dude, it's like almost every race he just gets better and better somehow. And yeah, we used to charging through the field. It looked like almost at one point, like, I know Juju's a rookie, but like he had a 5 or 6 second lead, and it was like, okay, if he can couple seconds back, can you make it up? And then just like out of nowhere, he just caught him. They were going back a little bit, but then Deegan just ran away with it. It was like, all right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to start getting more data as we have more of these hybrid tracks. And it's like, are some guys better at it than others? We've outlasted the team. Team is leaving. You know we normally have a better camera than this, guys. Please respect the process. Maybe we know Tomac, obviously very good in this hybrid tracks in the past. Good today. Deegan loved it, said a lot of great things about how much he likes this track in the press conference yesterday and today. And maybe Juju, maybe Julien Beaumer. Is he a hybrid track guy?
I think he's more just a Supercross guy. Like that's what Supercross Futures was really his thing.
Yep.
And that's kind of what got him his deal last year. So that's what I asked him in the press conference. Like, is it just being back on Supercross? You guys nailed the start for the most, or the setting for the most part. And he said he just feels comfortable on those long rhythms. And I know, like some teams like Club MX are able to put a track together for SMX probably as well as they want to, but the other teams can't. But he said they had a good test for the last couple of days. So I think he's just been really impressive. Like, he got Rookie of the Year pro Motocross. Like, I think he's kind of underrated. Like, again, we compare people to like Deegan and like Justin Cooper is maybe a little underrated because he's been getting compared to Jett and everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, Juju was pretty impressive. First career podium. He was pretty pumped about it, and I think he's still doing some jet ski racing in between, so that's pretty impressive as well.
That was wild. He spent the off weekend qualifying for the World Jet Ski Championship, which is in October. That is insane. Yeah, I agree. Juju, remember, was really good in Anaheim 1. Then we had the 2 mud races. He's from Lake Havasu. He's terrible in mud. And I think the Supercross season went off the rails. He has way more talent than he's shown until today. So
yeah, and again, Supercross was that's where he's made his bread and butter, I guess, to get his ride.
Yeah.
But I think he was still underrated in pro motocross.
He was getting like 8th every weekend.
Yeah, and it doesn't look
bad.
Great, but then it's like, oh, another top 10, oh, another 8th, another 7th, and it was like, wow. And then like, at the end, you're like, oh wow, he finished here in the position in the championship, and you're like, okay, he's pretty good. And then I think everybody was like, all right, well, how's he going to do on super motocross? Because he had not raced it last year as a rookie. He did the last 2 races, and that was it. So he was able to qualify, and then comes in here swinging and led some laps, which is huge. Like Ryder D had a breakout ride here last year.
Yeah.
And Juju, like, these guys can carry this momentum into the next race and the next year. So
one thing we could take out of this is I went back and I watched last year's race and I read all the stories from last year's race, and the entire takeaway was Chase Sexton is back. He went 1-1. He's got the Supercross suspension back on his bike, and that did not end up being the narrative by the end of this. So we just don't want to take too much out of the opener.
Well, and he said last year he got worse as it went on. He started 1-1 with
we'll get better.
Lace prepared.
Yeah.
And then he got worse results, and he said hopefully this year he leaves with the red points, the red plate. But he said hopefully he gets better and he wins towards the end because again, the double points next weekend, triple points after that. Yeah. You want to win all the time, but really at the end is really crunch. Like Jordan Smith was going to win it at one point last year at the finale. Like Shimoda was going to win it. Deegan ended up winning. It was just Hunter Lawrence came in with the lead last year and got banged up. There's just so much shuffling that happens at the end. So I guess big picture, can Sexton stay mentally strong even though he got his ass kicked a little bit today? Can he stay mentally strong in the end and really, finish this thing off?
That's really the big question. Let's go to the 250 press conference and we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, being up front with those guys, you learn a lot. And when Haiden passed me, for sure, he had some amazing lines that I had to pick up on. So just being up there with those guys and seeing where they're going, where I'm slower at, is definitely a big thing to learn.
It's definitely, I feel like there's like technical lines that you can kind of find if you got some good racecraft. So I feel like that's what's cool about these super motocross. You're mixing in some things that we're not used to. So it's definitely cool. I mean, you got motocross and supercross, and you're on supercross suspension. So it's tricky out there, but it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I felt okay. Bummer for me, like after the restart, I ripped a good start, and then your emotions, you get excited. So that was kind of a kick in the nuts. But I don't know. The bike felt pretty good. The track was really fast, which is something I need to get a little bit better at for sure. But overall, yeah, I like where my bike's at. I mean, I think we're all on Supercross stuff for the most part. So it was a fun day.
Okay, like we said, we're going to wrap this up. We literally got the Racer X truck running, and you're headed out of here, Mitch, to work, and I get to go home for one Saturday night a year, it feels like. So enjoy it, everybody. We'll be back in Texas. Thanks to Twisted Tea for backing our show, and we'll see Deegan and Jett. I mean, anything can happen, but they sure made a statement here this afternoon.